Hey everyone, so I'm the teacher for this astronomy course. My name is Mr. Clow, and this is the video for Meet the Teacher where you can get some information about the course and how to contact me. I really apologize for the poor audio quality. I'm just doing this really quick, and I'm still in the school. So first, the best way to contact me is through email. You can either email me at this email address, or if you had actually created a parent observer Canvas account, you could also contact me through there. I know don't really do a whole lot with Canvas. However, every now and then, if I'm ever absent, students are expected to go onto Canvas to get the assignment, or if they're absent, they're expected to go onto Canvas to figure out what the missing assignments were. So we are still using Canvas, and all the students should still have a Canvas account. So you can always contact me through there. Now, if you would prefer to call, you could try that. However, I do have a very limited window of when I'm available, and it's very likely that we might end up having conflicting free time. So we might end up constantly playing, tag with calling, constantly missing each other. So that's why I usually prefer email. I think it's a lot easier to get into contact with me, and I can respond, you know, throughout the day at my leisure. Now, very quickly about this course. Basically, this is an astronomy course, so we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about, what's going on in the sky, the stars, solar system, universe, and ideally life on other planets and the likelihood of that. So we are talking about space in its entirety. We already started talking about astrology. That was our very first unit, and we're now starting to move on to a little bit more of the, um, I guess, sciencey sections of astronomy. Now, as far as what kids are expected to have, missed that. They should have a pen and a pencil. I would prefer if they have a pencil so that if they make any mistakes, they can easily erase it. But a pen's fine. Though I do actually would prefer that they make a three-ring binder. This is one where I would prefer. I know some kids like spiral notebooks, but the three-ring binder was going to be helpful because they're going to have a lot of worksheets, a lot of handouts. In fact, most of the assignments and most of the notes are done in worksheets. So the three-ring binder is really going to help keep a lot of that stuff organized. If they have it in folders, it's going to be very easy for it to kind of get lost with everything else. And then, yeah, they're going to need to make sure that they have access to those files throughout the quarter. All right. The grading policy is very similar to what we do, or this is actually the standard for the science department this year. So this is true across the board. There's going to be test quizzes and projects that are going to be worth 70%. Labs are going to be worth 15%, and then participation in this class is going to be another 15%. Now, as far as the test quizzes and projects, all that's falling under the assessment category. Tests and quizzes are essentially that they're in class. They'll have multiple choice and short answer questions. Typically, they're going to have quizzes at the end of each unit, and sometimes maybe sprinkled in between. A lot of these might be open notebook, so as long as they're been completing the notes like they should, then this should be fairly easy. The tests are at the end of the quarter, so they'll have one test grade at the end of the quarter. This is unfortunately will not be open notebook. So this is because this is a 2 quarter or half year course. This is going to the two tests are going to include essentially the midterm and the final. So they're going to be worth a lot more than the quizzes. In addition, there might also be some projects and papers that they'll have to be doing. Most of the stuff will probably be done in class, though, and in groups, though, depending on how much they get in class done, they might have to do some of the stuff at home as well. But for the most part, um, I'm trying to limit the amount of homework that they have to take home and just try to make it so that all the assignments are done in class, and the only reason they would have to bring an assignment home is because they weren't doing it in class like they were supposed to. So there's going to be labs. Now, this is not a class that ends in a region, so there's no lab requirement. But because it's a science class, we do want to try and keep the lab aspect in. So throughout the year, they're going to do lab lab activities, again, in their groups. Um, and it'll just be a nice way to do some hands-on activities with the stuff that we're learning. Class participation is based off of what they do in the class. This is essentially whether they're doing their assignments like they're supposed to, if they're doing the do nows like they're supposed to, as long as they're not being distracting or being on their phone. This should be an easy 100. Um, these are some things that basically will end up get taking off points. Like I said, playing on their phone, being distracting others, all that stuff. Homework is also included, but that's like I said, the homework really is just a form of classwork. It's just the classwork that they didn't get to finish in class. Um, the classroom policies are pretty standard. You know, it's essentially the whole be respectful. Obviously, if they break these classroom policies, not only does that hurt their class participation grade, but it could result in them being written up. So if they're constantly wearing hats or hoodies, despite me constantly telling them no, if they keep coming in late, they will start being written up for referrals. So just be aware of that. We want to make sure that the kids come in to class on time, that they are respectful, that they're not calling people names and not, just being mean to others, and that they're being prepared to do work. This is a fairly light class. This is a low commitment type class. So hopefully a lot of kids should do well. And in fact, if they're the only reason why they wouldn't be doing well in this class is just because they're not doing the assignments. For the most part, if anyone's absent, especially if it's a prolonged absence, like I said, they're expected to make up the work when they come back. If they miss an exam or something, that's something that they will have to take basically right when they come in. Otherwise, if they miss any sort of worksheet, that's something that they'll have to do at home. Like I said, they can check it out on Canvas and get the assignment from there. I'm always here for extra help. So if they are struggling with something, if they're failing because they keep getting absent and they're missing out on a bunch of assignments, I recommend that they come in after school and work with me, and I'll make sure that they kind of get back on task. Um, yeah, so the big thing that I just want to make sure that they know, like I said, is I'm always here to help. Obviously, I want to make sure that they are engaged and they're asking questions, and they're doing the assignments that they want. They should make sure that they're organized. That if I ask for them to pull out their notes, they're not talking about how they lost it, even though it's only been a day. So make sure that they're organized is definitely going to be very helpful. And I say play the points game. Basically, be aware of what things are going to affect their grades and which things don't, and make sure to prioritize that. While class participation is uh, not really worth a whole lot, it's worth 15%. That 15% can be a big difference between passing and failing. So they want to make sure that they can get the full points for the assignments that are easy. That way, any assignment like on test, if they feel like they're not really going to get a good grade on that, all that other supplementary work, the classwork, the homework, the labs, all that stuff kind of helps boost their overall grade. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Again, you can email me or you can contact me through Canvas. Otherwise, good luck. And I hope all the kids do well and hope we have a good rest of the year.